Do you need to place your restaurant staff on probation? How long should the probation last? And what do you do immediately after that probation? I understand these are plaguing questions for restaurant owners, and I'm going to be answering these 3 questions in this video. First, we started off RBFM sometime in 2022 as a full restaurant staff training facility before we expanded into food setup, structuring and overhauling services. And not one day have we ever employed any staff, whether for the firm or for any of our subsidiary businesses, without properly probating that staff member. And so my response to the first question, should a restaurant staff be placed on probation, is a yes. Never employ any restaurant staff without proper probation. If you do, you will pay for it painfully, especially in a time like this. People can sound so skilled, so confident, so experienced on interview, but the very moment you employ them and bring them into the team, everything changes. And that's why every restaurant, no matter the size, must introduce a structured probation time period for every new hire. Don't forget, it doesn't matter how small you are at the time. Now, how long should your probation period last? I recommend an intentional 30 to 90 days to every restaurant. Some people can fake characters for 1 week, but not so much for 90 days. And during this time period, you must ensure as a restaurant owner that the agreed salaries are not paid in full. A portion of that salary must be banked over until after confirmation. Now, imagine hiring a chef at say 160,000, only to discover that his meals are either inconsistent or his meals are somewhat bad. And worstly, you've decided to train and retrain this chef, and he has obviously refused corrections even until after 2 months. If you do not have a proper probation structure for your restaurants, what that means is that within these 2 months, you would have wasted a total of 320,000 naira on salary. You would have also made a bad imprint on your brand and possibly lost a few customers. That's a whooping 100% loss on your restaurant and almost a 0% loss on the staff in question. And they will quietly move to the next job with the same lies, incompetencies, and 0 consequences. And the last question, what should you do immediately after probation? I would like to say, what you should do is not just immediately after probation. So it should be, what should you do before, during, and after probation? It's simple. Before probation, ensure you communicate the terms of employment very clearly to the staff. And during probation, please kindly observe the staff very closely. And after probation, this is where the issues are for too many restaurant owners. The outcome of every staff probation must not be confirmation. Mark the words. The outcome of every probation must not be confirmation. I've met a lot of restaurant owners who are always so much afraid. If I allow this staff to go now, where do I get a replacement? If I allow this staff to go now, where do I get a replacement? Who says you should allow the staff to go? And who also says that confirmation is all that there can be immediately after probation? The thing is, as a restaurant owner, we expect that you should look critically at the situation. If performance is satisfactory, then confirmation can follow. Otherwise, you can think of an extension. That's also a second option. I mean an extension of the probation time period. That's also an option. You can always decide to extend the probation a little longer to be able to watch the staff further. And for cases where performance is not satisfactory, please do not proceed with the staff. This single rule can save you millions, both in terms of resources, stress, and attitude. It makes no sense moving forward with a staff you've clearly seen does not align with the culture of your restaurant, only to begin to complain just afterwards.